Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a 4v4 match on the map Ribbon. I'm starting in the left position, and as you can see all the teams start really close to each other and we all get to mine gems at the start. So it's a little bit like the middle of the map becomes a battle royale, and just setting my infantry over there right now as the other teams will be. And this is sort of like the first time I've really played this map. I think I've played one like it before, but I don't think I've actually played this one, so it'll be my first time, and I'm going to have 2 games in this video. I played 3 games on this map, but in the second game, a person crashed on the other team, so it wasn't really much of a match. So I'll be showing you the 2 games that I did play that were fair. I've got my ore refinery down, I'm starting to build my war factory, and I've probably noticed at this point that I've made a little bit of a mistake. I should have built an ore silo because I am collecting gems, but now we're starting to group up these infantry in the middle of the map. And the first thing is here, I'm playing as the allies, so what I want to do is I want to make sure that those infantry from the other team, because the other team who were playing Soviets could have grenadiers, which might cause a little bit of a problem. The Cyan infantry coming forwards, but it looks like the other team are not too aggressive at the moment, which is all good for us because it means I'm going to have more time to sort of get these tanks out. I'm now building that ore refinery, which I should have done at the start. I'm going to go for 1 ore truck, and then I'm going to start to build medium tanks. Because I'm going to want a good economy so I can build like as many war factories as possible. And just one thing I'll mention, this is not a multi-MCV map, so I won't be doing any multi-MCV shenanigans. And just building some infantry at the moment, and going to be awaiting that arrival of the second war factory. So now that ore truck has come out, I'm just going to start to be able to build tanks, and we've got the second war factory placed down, and that's going to put us in a good position. I'm now placing down the power plant, and we've still got those infantry around the middle, and looks to be in a decent position right at the moment. So now we're trying to take out those Cyan infantry, and we're going to be able to push forwards a little bit. You can see green also with some tanks out as well, and yellow's trying to take out those green tanks, but we're getting a pretty decent start here, and now we're going to be able to push forwards. We can see that war factory from Cyan poking out a little bit, and we're being able to take out that, and that's put us in a real good spot because that's going to delay his start quite a bit. But red with the massive infantry numbers, and I have lost some tanks there, so I'm going to need to pull back possibly and regroup maybe. I'm going to have a look here because it looks like our teammate Pink is starting to get killed by those bottom 2 teams. So we've got red and purple working together. So though Cyan has lost a war factory, they're still in the game, and now we can see that Pink is coming up to help the top of the map against yellow, because it looks like yellow has got a decent number of tanks, and Cyan's also built a Tesla coil located near their base. Right now though, it's about getting tanks out and building up our armies as much as possible. I've done a little bit of a mistake here. I've realised that I've sort of misjudged the economy because I don't usually play gem only maps. So I'm out of resources at the moment, but I do have 2 like ore trucks at least collecting gems, and I've got more ore trucks on the way, and I'm going to be getting another ore refinery. But now we're having a fight with red. It looks like red has the better tank numbers. He's also got purple behind, and we're going to have to pull back a little bit. I think pink is preoccupied trying to help at the top of the map, and now we're going to have to pull back and regroup because that army from purple looks to be very, very large. And it looks like they got the better tank numbers right at the moment. So after it seemed like we had a good start, it seemed to turn in the other team's favour, especially in terms of tank numbers. But now my economy is getting back on track, and hopefully the tank production is going to start kicking in. And what I'm trying to do right at the moment is I'm not going to be too worried about the buildings. I'm just going to be trying to take out as many tanks as possible from the other team. Except for the Tesla coils, of course, you need to take them out quite quickly because they do so much damage. And now I'm just really focusing on that economy, and we can see that my resources are starting to stack up a little bit. Yeah, it's just when you got like these new situations, which I've got now, you never know how the economy is going to swing really, but it seems like those 4 war factories are starting to use up those resources, so it's probably a good thing that I'm building another ore refinery. But now we can see that purple army coming in, and that purple army is quite huge at the moment, but me and Pink working together, and we're doing quite a good job of defending. And what we'll be trying to do is just move our tanks around as much as possible and get as good trade as possible. But now I'm going to need to dive in a little bit, because Red is building a Tesla coil, and while he builds Tesla coils, I guess that means he's not building war factories or improving his economy, so it'll put me in a better situation in terms of tank numbers. We're just making sure I'm keeping on building those tanks, and now we're starting to be able to push Red and Purple back a little bit. And Blue's starting to get Tesla coils of his own, and that's doing some great damage to the enemy forces, and their front line is starting to crumble. We're starting to take out another one of those red Tesla coils, and you can see that purple army now, which was once large, has started to be whittled down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and take out any tanks that come out, and I think that Pink is probably going to go in there and take out any buildings. So we're sort of just going to stay on this front line, and we'll see if Pink decides to dive in. But we're starting to be able to build outwards into the middle of the map, and now Pink going for the dive into the bases. And yeah, I'll just stay out here for the time being. Now that we've got the better tank numbers and we've got the advantage, we just need to make sure we don't dive in too far, because we can see that Cyan there has 3 Tesla coils, and it can happen quite quickly where you dive in, you realise you lose all your tanks, and then the counter attack kills you off. But now it looks like Green also is getting the upper hand at the top of the map. I'm just bringing my tanks down so I can kill those Cyan tanks while I'm out of range of the Tesla. I'm getting a turret there. I don't actually know why I'm bothering actually with that, because it looks like we don't need it. I'm going to get another war factory now because I'm getting a bit of ore stacking up. I think this is probably a good game, because you can see the other team now losing too many buildings. Green's on them, Pink's on them, I'm on them myself, and they just don't have the tag numbers. And I'm just going to stay here for now and just destroy any tanks that come out and start destroying the war factories when they get a chance. And there's no way they're going to be able to come back from this, because the production speed is too slow. We've got too much of economy, and we've got quite a bit of defence. But we can see that Purple have done a little bit of a sneaky attack on Pink there at the back of his base. But I think Pink's going to be able to deal with that, hopefully. But he has lost his ore refineries, so we're going to need to be a bit careful here. And now Purple's starting to go on the attack, and I might have called it too soon, maybe, but Green seems to be in the middle of the base, and I think Green's got this at the top of the map. It looks like Cyan's being pushed right back, and now we're just fighting these purple tanks like 1v1, but I think we've got good reinforcements coming in. I've got a good economy going, and yeah, those purple tanks are starting to get whittled down, and now we've got Pink joining back in, and we can see that transport ship from Purple. So it was a good idea from Purple, I guess, when he could see they were losing, and he did manage to do some good damage there. But now we're back in this, and we're starting to push Purple back, and soon we're going to be on top of his war factories and be able to take out the structures inside their base. So yeah, it was a bit of to and fro there. At the start of the match, it looked like we got in a really good position when we took out the Cyan war factory, but then suddenly the other team seemed to have more tanks than us, and then it looked a bit bad for us, sort of like in the early middle game. But then we were able to slowly push them back and then get back into this, and then there was Purple with that sneak attack where I thought it was all over, but it definitely is now. Just taking out those other power plants, and now we're taking out the main buildings, and we'll be able to start taking out the power plants, the production buildings, the ore refineries. It's all going down, and it is definitely now good game. So yeah, quite an interesting map. This it was the first time I played it, so the next game you're going to see is going to be my third match. As I say, the second match wasn't really a match because someone sort of got disconnected like right at the start. So yeah, it was just like basically a steamroll. But now it's that game over, and now we're on to the second game in this video. And in this next game, we've got a player that I haven't seen for a while, and that's Mia. So she's on my team playing at Pink, just below me. Yeah, I don't think I've seen her for months on the game, just probably been on at different times. But now we're going up. We've also got on the other team, we've got Eric, and we've also got Stormy. So that's going to be a bit difficult, and sort of my inexperience here what's happened is I've sort of put my barracks in a terrible place for my teammate. So that was a bit of an accident there. But yeah, it's just because we both have to fit through that gap. And I realised when I watched the replay that in the other match I did block Pink off. I just didn't notice it in the other game when it played out. But now we're starting to take our infantry to the middle, and we just need to sort of get our infantry bunched up. Again, this time though, I'm playing as the Soviets, so we are going to be able to get some Grenadiers out as well, and getting that ore silo up this time. And at least that Yellow has managed to get that ore silo there, so he's going to be able to expand outwards into the middle there. I haven't blocked him off completely. And now I'm taking more infantry into the middle there and just starting to spread them out. What I do is I press X to like spread them out, because when you build Grenadiers, they can blow up things that are quite close to them. So it's best to have your... And also if you get hit by Grenadiers as well. And looking at the bottom of the map, it looks like they're being pushed back a little bit. So hopefully they are going to be okay. And just making sure I place that war factory in like a position that's not going to impede my teammate with his expansion. But yeah, you can see them being pushed back a little bit from the middle. But we've also got some purple infantry from the bottom. And yeah, we seem to be in a decent spot right at the moment. And me are getting some more infantry out there into the middle of the map. And I'm going to be getting this second war factory down pretty soon. So that's going to give me double war factory production now. So I'm going to be able to start building up my tank numbers. Right now it looks like we've got the calm before the storm. No one's really doing much at the moment. And now the tanks are starting to appear. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to squash those purple infantry that are quite close together. And yeah, I'm going to lose a tank there actually almost. But now we're going to have to defend this top part of the map. And hopefully Yellow's going to be starting to get some tanks out as well. So you can see some of those medium tanks coming out. And now Red is starting to push forward. He's also got a lot of infantry there. Yellow's getting to squashing some of those infantry, but he's still got the better numbers. Also Blue coming in as well, also with a lot of infantry. And yeah, just a bit of a technical issue there. And now we're starting to fight now. But you can see that Mia's war factory is under attack. And hopefully we're going to be able to keep that up. My war factory is now getting under attack as well. And Purple with a good number of tanks there. And I managed to destroy one of our war factories. Mia's war factory looks like it's going to stay up for the time being. But now Yellow also losing a war factory as well. So that's posing a bad position. We've both lost war factories. And now Yellow losing a second war factory. And this is really, really bad. But now we're trying to push back. You can see that Pink has got good tank numbers, managed to keep those war factories together. And now I'm going to start pushing forwards with my own tanks. I'm also starting to try and rebuild that third war factory, because you can see my ore is stacking up. I'm also taking out those blue tanks at the back of our base, which are trying to take out our economy. But now that I've got rid of those, I'm going to be able to start pushing in. And you can see we've now got the better tank numbers. And this is what I say about when you sometimes push too far in. The counter-attack can be deadly, and it looks like right now that they don't have the tanks to answer us. I've got 3 war factories now. I'm just making sure I destroy some of those tanks at the front, just so we don't get in a similar position to what they were in a few moments ago. We're now starting to push them further back. Purple's starting to try and come in with some tanks, but his tank numbers just aren't great enough. And I'm starting to take out his tanks pretty quickly, and now going for the fight on Red as well. But now they're starting to get locked up in their base. They've also lost some war factories, so the production speed is going to be slower. And now we're starting to push in. There's also no Tesla at this point in the game. And what I'll do is I'll take out some of those power plants, because when they get low on power, the production speed falls. And while he's building power plants, which he's not going to be able to do because I'm going to destroy his construction yard, and now Red's selling up, he realises the game is up. And it looks like a similar thing is happening all over the map. And that's the dangers of trying to push in too early. I've also got a Tesla coil up now, although it's not going to be required. So yeah, in that game they just we're too greedy. They tried to destroy too many things, and then they paid the price. So that is a good game. So an interesting map. I enjoyed those games. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.